Good morning, everybody. I'm Jim Taylor, the Chief Product Officer from SecureID, and this morning I wanted to share some thoughts with you on what we're seeing in the market, the changes, and how we think people need to respond. So let's get started with what is the new normal? So in the new normal, post-pandemic, post the last 2 years of challenges that we've all faced, securing enterprises in the new world requires a different approach. And we believe that's a zero trust approach. A lot has changed for us in the last couple of years. We've all been moving towards a perimeterless environment. What we used to be able to do from a security perspective was put a fence around our environment and then secure who could come in and who could come out. That doesn't work in a perimeterless environment. A lot of companies are moving to cloud. They're moving to decomposed apps. And it's not just one cloud, it's now a multi-cloud environment. So we often come across companies and customers who are working, with databases in AWS, integration layers in Google, across various clouds. So no longer does it make sense for us to be able to build a fence around our environments to protect them. Not only is it now a perimeterless multi-cloud world, but we're seeing this incredible explosion in terms of an expansive edge. It's not just users, PCs, things like that interacting with our IT assets. We're now seeing all sorts of things connecting to the world, right? And that's predominantly because of the evolution in technology. So we now have things like 5G, we have greater connectivity, much more reliability in the network itself. And so that means, if you're like me in my house, I have a smart thermostat, you could have a drone, a car. The edge is ever expanding. The things that are connecting into our world are just multiplying. I think there's a Gartner stat. I can't remember exactly the stat, but I think it's something like by 2025, 80% of all interactions or connections will be from non-people based systems. So either services or devices. So we have to take account of that in the new world. And then finally, we have a whole host of actors that are acting on this. It's not just employees, partners, customers anymore. We're not just able to manage and regulate the security of all of the identities on our network. We now have a very diverse population that's interacting with our technology, and that includes things like machine actors, services, and many, many threat actors. And I think we've all seen in recent time that the emerging predominance of threat actors is significantly changing. So for companies, this presents a challenge. We have nation states, we have hacking, we have ransomware, the challenges of who we have to manage or the identities that interact with our IT estates is constantly changing. So to secure this new world actually requires a zero trust approach. And that's a new way of thinking, because what it's done is created a continuous set of change and a whole new set of challenges for us. We've all lived through the last couple of years, and we all know that work is no longer a destination. It's not somewhere that you go. It's something that you do. So hybrid work has become a real challenge for companies. How do I make my employees, my partners, the people who interact with my networks productive from wherever they are? Digital experience has become a real opportunity for us and a challenge. Right? Companies are no longer buying security products purely based on their security capabilities. We've all been going through digital transformation, and so how we're able to consume that technology has become critical. User experience is critical. We now see that as a buying criteria. It's a decision criteria. Security doesn't have to just be good, it has to be easy. The third challenge that I want to just touch on is IT modernization. So IT has been going through an evolution where it's significantly changed, right? There's a whole new set of capabilities, new networking capabilities, new services, cloud components. We have to figure out how to secure that. And so finally, this leads us to the point where we need a new approach to cybersecurity. Perimeter-based is no longer effective. In the old days, we could imply trust. If somebody was an employee, they were coming from inside our network, then we could secure them based on that. The challenges that we now face is the proliferation of new network entry points. There's much more things that are connecting, new apps, new users, and many, many more implications of how do I secure something that's in the cloud? I can't build a fence around Azure. I can't build a fence around AWS. So I have to secure the assets. So the key principles of Zero Trust and why this is a paradigm shift is that identity is becoming the new perimeter. I have to be able to understand the context of an event. And the easiest way to do that is if I know who somebody is or what somebody is. If I know who the actor is in a transaction, then I can base my security policy around that. So that leads us to this set of key principles that really make Zero Trust the future. First, I have to strongly authenticate the users. I need to understand who somebody is. If I understand who they are, then I can treat them appropriately. I need to verify that the access request is appropriate. And in a Zero Trust world, that means every access request, right? I cannot imply trust. I need to be able to dynamically assess the real-time conditions and the context of that transaction. And I need to be able to reassess for each and every subsequent request. I cannot just allow implied trust. The way that I get to a stronger security posture is by using some of these insights to continuously improve. If I understand the behavior of the things that are acting on my network, if I understand what my users are doing, then I can adjust my security policy and my security posture to take account of that. So the role of identity is key. It's going to be absolutely critical to empower organizations to thrive in the digital world. An end-to-end identity and access assurance program will give you the strength and the trust in your security posture to ensure that you're protecting your assets. IAM as a whole, identity and access management, needs to evolve, and companies must evolve with it. It's no longer acceptable to have separate point solutions, to have different capabilities from different suppliers. We often see companies that have a security environment on-prem, and then they have a totally different one in the cloud. Right? So identity and access management needs to be a layered, holistic approach. It needs to be complete. So you need strong identity, you need strong authentication, and you need strong access and authorization. And then you need to be able to apply that to the different populations that are interacting on your network. So not just employees, right? We've seen the rise of XIAM, which is external IAM, which is all of those people that act in a similar way, but may not be controlled in my system. I may not provision their identities. It may be a federated relationship, but they need similar types of access. So I need to cater for the external as well. And then, of course, finally, the customer or CIAM, consumer IAM. They have a different set of use cases. I need to take account of things like privacy and consent and those kinds of things. But I need a platform that caters to all of my needs from a functional perspective and all of my constituents from a population perspective, workforce, external, and customers. Identity is shifting. It's moving from being, an employee-centric thing to a device and a relationship service. I need to understand transactions. I need to understand the security implications of those transactions, and I need to secure each one separately. So security has been protecting the past and the present. We've been in this space for a long time, and I just wanted to share where we see the world right now. I mean, we all started in perimeter-based. We went through the move to off-perimeter, moving to cloud, moving to external data centers, moving to external apps. I would say right now we're somewhere between the off-perimeter shift and the Zero Trust shift. As applications decompose, as I get different constituents from, different parts of my network, different parts of the cloud, I need to be able to understand and apply the right security technology. So we're focusing very heavily right now on user and device access, passwordless, dynamic risk-based. The more I understand, the more context I have about a transaction, the better I'm able to secure it. So our vision is a secure, simple, smart world, a complete trusted identity platform where we focus on protecting what matters the most. We make that compelling technology, we make it easier to consume, and we deliver you the intelligence that allows you to dynamically adjust your security posture. Some key takeaways for everybody. Think about the paradigm shift to zero trust, identity becoming the new perimeter. Understand who your users are and what they have access to. The second one, risk intelligence and insight is critical. The more I know about a transaction, the more context I have, the more information I have to make a decision, the better decision I can make. And thirdly, seek a holistic identity solution. Look for something that's capable of delivering complete identity and access assurance that's intelligence-based. Thanks very much, and I hope everybody enjoys their day.